Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and welcome to our final match of the first day of OS World Cup 2025 semifinals week. Still hanging out in the losers bracket with our final match of this losers round, and it is a banger. It is number 7 seeded United Kingdom facing off against number 8 seeded Russia in a matchup that somehow, some way, has literally never occurred before. In the entire history of the OS World Cup, there has somehow come to pass that these two teams have never played each other before. Despite being top 6, top 8, year in, year out, they have never faced off. So this is going to be an interesting maiden voyage for this matchup to determine which one goes onward in the bracket at least one more stage. I'm this one guy. Joining me for this match is going to be Leiden. Good morning, Mr. Leiden. Welcome. First ever match, UK versus Russia. How are we feeling? What are we thinking?
Good morning. This has been a pretty long day, but what a matchup to finish up this whole Saturday match list in general. I'm feeling fantastic, T1G. Thank you for asking. And yeah, exactly as you've said, these two teams, they have never played against each other in the OWC setting like ever. So it's definitely going to be a very exciting match to look at, and already we can see that the players are ready, the captains are ready, and some roles have been there. As you can see, Bubbleman, the captain of the team for the United Kingdom, has won the role. But nonetheless, though, there's a lot of expectations coming into this match. I would imagine that Russia is going to be the one banning most of the reading/gimmick maps, while UK will try to avoid those speed maps in general, like ZT3, maybe like DT3 to Fremont 2 as well is also an option for the United Kingdom. Well, Russia, their second ban will probably be something like Hidden 2, or maybe even DT4. There's a lot of options left there, but this is a really good matchup. A very interesting one indeed. What do you think about this match, T1G?
You know, it's an interesting spot for these two teams to be in, right? Coming on kind of different trajectories from the quarterfinals week. United Kingdom lost 6-0 to the United States in a match that I think it's fair to say neither team really had their best. It felt like both teams were several steps behind a lot of other teams in the round, and so they'll be looking to recover a bit and put up a better performance than they showed last week. Meanwhile, Russia, they had two solid matches last week, so they've got momentum on their side. They had that 6-2 win against Spain on Friday, followed up by the 6-3 win against the Philippines on the Sunday. So, you know, a reasonable spot to be in terms of momentum. And, you know, Russia's roster looked pretty good last week, I have to say. The performances of guys like Welter, Gamer, Desuk, and Vlados, like, they got good performances out of a lot of their team. I'm a little interested to see what becomes of Scroll in particular, because he only played 2 of their 17 maps last week, despite typically being a player that's in a lot. So not entirely sure of the story behind that. Meanwhile, UK, you know, it's hard to take a lot away from that match. When you lose 6-0, you want to just move on from it and forget it in the past. They really didn't put up any super noteworthy scores, as you know, you kind of expect from a team not performing at their best. So, you know, it's an interesting story of UK here trying to, I think, kind of move on from a bad loss, whereas Russia is trying to continue with the momentum that they built in their 2 wins last week.
Yep, basically that. The momentum is there. The win against the Philippines was also really confident, aside from probably like a Fremont 3 where Icarus showed up a massive performance to take away the break one and to make Philippines survive for a little longer. But nonetheless, Russia looking stellar so far for the past 2 matches, obviously losing their match to China in a round of 16. Knocking down themselves into the losers bracket now, as they have been here for a while. But this time around, if one of those teams loses, they will have a potential lower placement than their seeding, because if you are eliminated at this stage, your placement is going to be 9-12, while both of these teams, as you can see, are seed number 7 and seed number 8. But enough of that, more about the bans. So far, it looks like Russia has banned the Nomad 5, the low AR reading map, and AR7 map, and the United Kingdom coming in with the bans of Nomad 2 and Fremod 2, respectively. Nomad 2 being a stream map and a Fremod 2 being a stamina map, 230 BPM, and Russia continues to go on to ban all the hidden and just reading maps, hidden 2 being another one to fall here in OSU Original. Sadly, will not be played in this matchup, and with that, it's going to be Russia's turn to pick. And T1G, what do you think is going to be their pick for this one?
Well, you know, you like probably the tapping roster. If you see your opponent pick into into a couple of tapping maps, right, like the UK banning out the Nomad 2, Fremod 2. Russia still has a couple options available to them in that DT pool, right? You've got DT1, DT2, DT3, all available to them. Wouldn't be surprised to see any of those picks. I also would like to shout maybe the hidden pool. I know Russia banned hidden 3, or hidden 2, excuse me. But their hidden 3 score last week against the Philippines was disgusting, and it beat the UK's hidden 3 score by over 1 million. I think if they can find a good roster for a map like that with kind of that awkward flow, aim control, hidden type of skill set, it might be a good spot for them to opt into. But I do think you are pretty likely to see... Oh my god, I'm right. Holy cow. Okay, I'm just going to stop talking. It's hidden 3 first pick.
Yep. That is a good call here from you. Basically, the maps are also like really similar when it comes to the skill sets. Obviously, this one being a lot more difficult in comparison. Also adding a few rhythm elements to it. There's 1/3 and 1/6 scattered throughout the map. But in general, this is going to be your aim control ult map, 152 BPM, map by Petal and Seros. This one is relatively interesting. Obviously, Russia did play a similar skill set last stage, but this time around with the difficulty of the map and also the mapping style changing just a little, maybe the United Kingdom will be able to show themselves quite well. But this is a really good first pick for Russia, a really confident one as well. The map by itself isn't really too long, and the difficulty is about basically consistent throughout the entire map. So definitely a huge fan of this pick.
Yeah, they put up a super strong roster on the similar map last week. You had Dasuk, Lexus, Vlados all putting up very good scores, couple 800k plus, 650k plus. Scroll, the kind of fill-in fourth player for that one, which is, you know, he did his job with a slightly lower score. I just like this start. I think opting into this skill set for Russia, it's a good way to kind of ease into the match too against, you know, in a situation where you've got this big long best of 11, you've got a big pool with a lot of different skill sets available to you. Picking into something that isn't just a raw mechanics, I don't know, there's something about it. This feels good to me from what we've seen of Russia so far. UK though, typically a pretty strong, you know, capable of putting together a pretty strong hidden roster, but it depends on how they perform on the day. I think a little bit more, and like I said, it's going to be a big question mark for UK whether they can come back from how they performed last week, which really fell short of expectations. So that's kind of the big question for me this match is which UK is going to show up today.
Yeah, it also applies to Russia on some note as well, but with that, we are starting off with this hidden 3, as you can see, Skiatso being neutral grape here, Rudge being Fudge, Listia and Plasma joining into the side of the United Kingdom. Russia, a similar roster to that of the hidden 3 last week, Scroble, Dasuk, Lexus, and Vlados, once again to try and take their team to the first confident point on the board, but the map has just started. So far, so good for both of these teams. A few act drops here and there, but nothing too major happening in this map so far. But after the intro, though, this is where the map will pick up and basically just never slow down as we are starting off properly now.
This is going to be an exciting one to witness. 2.5 minutes long, and it's very consistent in difficulty and offers a lot of that tricky kind of flow circular aim with the sliders thrown in. It's going to be Scroll, the first really meaningful break, about 200 combo in. Dasuk is going to follow it up. It's traded with Plasma there. So 3 FCs to 2 in favor of the United Kingdom. As I said, you've got some strong, kind of gimmicky hidden players on that team. Scialistia holding on to those FCs, Rudge joining them as well. So definitely a map that UK can sneak up on you on if you're not careful on the Russia side. And with the Souk breaking again, as well as Vlados, they're going to be in tough straits here as Scroll breaks again with a big chain miss. It is just Lexus left. Meanwhile, a triple FC for UK. They're going to take a massive lead here halfway through 200k, looking for an early break point, starting this match off on the first point. Well, halfway through the first point, but quite well are the United Kingdom.
Exactly, but Listia does find a miss though, does give it a bit of a leverage and an opportunity for Russia here, but still they need a lot more to try and stay afloat, and this Listia finds yet another miss, but this is not the miss that they want to see. In the last FC, Lexus trading with Rudge. It's just Skia standing, still a third off the map, but the recovery from Plasma and the FC from Skia makes this pick look almost impossible for Russia. Still, the time is not on their side. Skia finally breaking, but still the recovery from Plasma doing the job just right as the Souk Vlados, basically everyone from Russia missing, no combos to try and contest anything in this pick, as the first pick for Russia looks out and turns out to be an absolute disaster, as the UK will be taking the breakpoint by the looks of it. The map still continues to go on, but the 400,000 lead when it comes to the score, and really good showing from both Skia and Plasma make this breakpoint go towards the United Kingdom.
This is just a super, super solid performance from the UK. Skia, Rudge, especially the top two performers, Plasma, Listia, a little bit farther back, but 366k win, and definitely not the way you want to start the match off if you're Russia. It felt like a decent pick on paper, but just the performance is not where they needed them to be. So United Kingdom, early break point to start off the match, have their own pick to come, and I wonder what kind of map we'll see them opt into. Very interesting, you see a United Kingdom winning a map that convincingly without even having Bubble Man in, right? Which is, kind of what you want to see if you're UK. If you can win maps convincingly without your best player, that will give you some confidence, I think, going forward in the match. So interested to see where they head next for their own first pick to try to consolidate. A lot of options, obviously, this early on, with a pool that has a quite varied offering of skill sets.
That is true, and with this hidden free breakpoint now coming into the side of the UK, you look at those other aim control all type of flow maps. You look at something like No Mod 3, you look at something like Free Mod 3, which have a lot of flow into that as well, and you can also partially use that hidden advantage for yourself on the Free Mod 3 to try and take someone who is comfortable on the hidden modification there to try and consolidate the breakpoint for themselves, but still, it's a bit of a tricky choice here because not all of these maps are that similar. Free Mod 3 has a lot of tech elements to them, and so does No Mod 3. So now as the UK, what exactly do you go for here? You're looking at that comfort level, and by the looks of it, they are starting off with the No Mod 1. Tyranny is here.
Yo, let's play some aim. Makes sense. United Kingdom has a really, really strong aim roster. And if they can get a good win to start this match off on an aim pick, they'll have several choices in that skill set to go forward with. And, we've heard this described as one of the best aim maps ever, right? Melon Boy just so good at mapping this particular skill set. A mix of kind of comfortable aim and slightly less comfortable aim, a little bit of tapping thrown in as well. Decently comfortable BPM, right? 207, maybe just a tad higher than a lot of No Mod 1s, but not by much. So this is the type of thing where if you just have a good raw aim roster, as the United Kingdom does, you're going to feel good about it. However, the cautionary tale of No Mod 1 historically is if you break it the wrong time, it's just over, and that's easy to do on the aim skill set. Very much one that is volatile as all get out. So while I like the pick, while I know the UK is very strong at aim, it always feels risky picking a No Mod 1 or a No Mod 1-esque map.
Oh, absolutely agreed here. Tyranny, though, on the other hand, also adds a lot of elements to consistency on top of that, too. This is not just your aim map. Obviously, Melon Boy Maps aim quite well, but nonetheless, a very lengthy map, 4 minutes and 8 seconds long, no breaks to be found, and just a constant swarm of jumps left, right, and center. This one does favor the UK on paper, as we have said. The UK's roster has a really good aim-based roster in comparison to Russia, but Russia, on the other hand, though, they can also play this relatively well. You can already see Walter and Alexis joining on the side of Russia. Also probably joined by Dasuk and Vlados to fill that puzzle. But on the other side, you have Akalibet, who's also really good at aim, despite his main skill set being speed, obviously. Bubbleman, the star player of the United Kingdom. Plasma and Mahmood also joining in to play against the Russia here.
That's a scary thing when you look over the other side on an aim map and you see Plasma, Mahmood, and Bubbleman, to say nothing of Akalibud. So Russia going to have to be on their A game to try and get this breakpoint back early. Welter, Lexus, Dasuk, Vlados, they did not, I don't think, they played very minimal Nomad last week in general. They played one total Nomad map across their 2 matches, and that was a Nomad too. So not a team we've really seen a lot of aim from. So this is kind of uncharted territory a little bit. See how Russia handles it as we get underway through the intro. And as mentioned, very long map, a lot of consistency to handle. 4 minutes of just non-stop gameplay. So far so good though. Nobody breaking in the early stages, getting through the intro just fine.
Exactly, already a start, the intro not catching anyone off guard for now. Some statistics also to back everything up as Dasuk finds the first miss on the Russian side is that Russia did not do particularly well on their No 1-1 qualifiers round, getting a seed number 20 and higher. So this one is definitely very bad for Russia here, especially as Lexus does find a miss though, traded by Akalibad. Not the end of the world, especially considering how long this map is. So definitely still a lot of room for maneuver, a lot of room for wiggling here, but still Welter and Vlados to try and contest 2 players on the side of the United Kingdom. Half quarter of the map basically gone, and the first PI still approaching us as the advantage is retained to the United Kingdom. The jumps are still coming in, and they don't stop basically for a while now. No misses for any of those teams as of yet, and as we are getting into the break, into the transition, it is time for the first PI. This is where the jumps will get a lot more space. Vlados and Bubbleman, though, they do find the misses. Still just 1 FC against Stu, as Welter also finds a break. The FCs for Russia are now gone, and Plasma and Mahmood are about to put up some huge masterclass performance with the first PI upon us.
There's a huge opportunity for the United Kingdom to take a large lead in this map with that double FC still intact and the recovery combo there on Akalibet as well. Really not much combo to speak of on the side of Russia at this stage. Nobody even over 200 combo, in fact. And so that lead is going to grow. It's going to be relatively slow, right? 4 minutes long means the leads are never going to grow super quickly, but you can see what those combos on Plasma and on Mahmood are doing to that score. It is continuing to ratchet up for the United Kingdom, and this is looking like it was a very, very good first pick. As we get into this solo section, some tapping requirement there does cause a break out of Akalibet and out of Bubbleman, but it's traded out. Dasuk and Lexus both falling as well. So really no harm done to the United Kingdom, and man, it's Plasma, it's Mahmood just shredding this map, having absolutely no trouble at all. Accuracy staying through the roof, the combo staying alive, and it's just shy of 500k on the slow part at 2/3. You can pretty much call this one. This is as you said, a masterclass from the AIM players on this UK roster. Plasma and Mahmood just putting in work on the first UK pick. Mahmood finally breaks, but nonetheless, it's damage largely done at this point on the pick.
Yeah, but still, all eyes are on Plasma, the main player here on the showcase. Their advantage, 600,000 and growing, as there's still a quarter of the map left with Plasma basically putting the final nail in the coffin here. All eyes are on them. Vlados, the only combo on the side of Russia to try and contest, but this is just looking so grim here, and Plasma finally finds a miss, sadly, as he was about to approach that 1500 combo mark, but nonetheless, they have done so much for his team. And with that being said, the map is basically coming to its final element here. The final PI still awaiting us. Still, the jumps are there. but it doesn't really matter as the advantage is 600,000. It does shift a little towards the right though, but the time is of the essence, a resource that Russia does not have, sadly. And with that, the United Kingdom are looking to get the second point on the board. And who other than Plasma and Mahmoud, the aim specialists of the United Kingdom roster, to take this for their team. Bubbleman also a really good recovery combo, 800 and growing. And with that, the Nomad 1 comes to its conclusion with the United Kingdom consolidating the breakpoint.
Nearly 600k the win there, 581,000 points, and man, yeah, those are just good team scores. I mean, there are 2 scores on the Russia side that are better than the lowest score on the UK side, and that is it. Very, very dominant performance from the UK, looking across their roster and what they brought to the table on that pick. Very impressive stuff. 2-0 is exactly how the UK would like to see this match start, of course. Breakpoint immediately consolidated, and now they've got a lot of options for picks as well, because there's a decent amount of aim in this pool. You know, you've got the hidden one as well that you can opt into if you feel comfortable in the hidden aim. You've got the hard rock one, which is pretty straightforward aim as well. So there's a couple of picks that they can think about immediately going forward. Meanwhile, Russia, it's a very, very quick selection into the DT2 here, which is, you know, one of the maps I think on the short list for options for them. I think it was always pretty anticipated that you'd see them picking into some tapping, and indeed their second pick of this match, it's going to be Daraku no Sono. It's going to be the 252 BPM bursty, speedy pick to come out.
Yeah, and the bursts, basically, they never stop as well. This pool is really intense when it comes to the maps, and this one is no exception. Obviously, a little on the shorter side, just about 2 minutes long, but nonetheless, on paper, it should favor Russia. Their speed roster should be better than the one of the United Kingdom, but on the opposing side, you have players like Akalibed, who seems really excited to face off with this map against basically the same people that talk the same English, the same language, basically. In that case being Russian, as you can see by the chat. If you understand Russian, then you'll probably understand the excitement of Akalibed in here. But nonetheless, though, still a really good momentum is going here for the United Kingdom. Russia still unable to answer, and if this one does not go their way, then they will be in huge trouble. But the United Kingdom, I think they can definitely contest them on this DT2. Yes, you have players like Ice Shark, you have players like Walter and Lexus who can do really, really well on this particular skill set. But on the other hand, sometimes those individuals like Akalibed or maybe even Bubbleman will be able to take another big point for themselves. So definitely something to look out for.
This is an interesting tapping matchup because United Kingdom with Akalibed and Malteser does have 2 incredibly strong tournament tapping players on their roster. So they've got people who can match players like Ice Shark on the Russia side. The question is just going to be, will they come up with what they need to in the match setting? And can, you know, the third and fourth members with Bubbleman, who has historically been sometimes good at speed, sometimes less good at speed, kind of depending on what he's focusing on, you know, will they be able to match maybe the backing combos of Russia, who are going to be, I think, favored on this pick? So we'll get into it. It's already going to start to be big moments here with United Kingdom starting off with the breakpoint and then the consolidation. This match can get out of hand in a hurry if Russia doesn't really bear down and start to win some picks, and it's got to be right here on their own second pick. You do not want to give up that early double breakpoint advantage, and it was Skia to break a couple times early going, the accuracy falling off precipitously as well to give the early advantage here to Russia, but it is flickering. I think that's accuracy because look at Malteser and Akalibed's accuracy before that Akalibed break, unfortunately, sends the lead just shooting over to Russia because there goes Boldman, there goes Skia again. And this map just got very, very Russia favored in a hurry.
Oh, exactly. And the final combo as well. Malteser also finds a miss here. Lexus being the only one to break on the Russian side. And if you look at the time, basically. It's already half the map, but the three FCs are still holding. The lead is already getting up to 300,000. Bubbleman and Alkalibet finds him as Ice Shark also. The second FC, the third FC for Hober down as well. No FCs anywhere to be found in this matchup, but nonetheless, already a huge lead for the Russian side, and no combos to try and contest for the United Kingdom. Only Alkalibet to try and hold on to some sort of combo, but this lead is already so massive. Welter also finds him as Alkalibet, the only one standing, but he is alone in this chaos as Russia are looking to get their first point on the board in a pretty confident fashion as well. But United Kingdom, definitely the comfort level was not there for some of their players. You look at Skia with a 170,000 score, not their skill set, so this is definitely understandable. But Russia, that is a really good performance on their side in comparison to the United Kingdom.
Yeah, really, really nice score there from Ice Shark with that 657k, and then just solid backing scores, right? Their other three all between 430k and 500k, despite the somewhat lower accuracy from Hober doing their jobs. And like you said, you know, UK very clearly fourth playered on that. Did not have a fourth member who was comfortable with that map that could have made it very, very close with another player who could just put up even a near a 400k, because Alkalibet top scored the lobby on the pick with that 728k score. It just, unfortunately for the UK, didn't matter because they didn't have the scores they would have needed out of those backing combos. And like I said, going into the map, that was the big concern, and it turned out to be a valid concern indeed. So Russia on the board with a good team score against the UK that didn't have the backing players they would have needed. But working in the United Kingdom's favor, of course, is the fact that they did get that immediate breakpoint to start the match off, so they do still have the advantage coming into their own second pick. And well, Russia probably picks DT1 and DT3 going forward in the match if that's how the United Kingdom is going to look on the tapping picks. United Kingdom, we'll see if they pick more aim. Something like a Hidden one or a Hard Rock one here after the way the Nomad one went might be options for them to choose from.
Oh yeah, that Nomad one went really good for the United Kingdom. About 400,000 lead and a massive step up from both Plasma and Fudge there, if I recall correctly. But Hidden one is being picked almost immediately. This is going to be your awkward aim map for this stage. The BPM is also a bit on the higher side in comparison to the Nomad one. 215 BPM, a custom map made by Camo, and a lot of really interesting angles, overlaps, and just interesting patterns scattered basically throughout everywhere. Just a fascinating map with the most cursed song ever, but I love it.
Yeah, this was such an interesting choice of song to have a custom map. And shoutouts also to the storyboard on this one. If you didn't see the storyboard in the showcase, definitely go back and check out that VOD because it is a funny storyboard. And of course, the lore of this map with the buzz slider at the end that they had to actually change because it offered too much score. It could swing a map. So this map has been through the ringer. Is a very interesting one for many different reasons. But you know, it's a hidden one. It's a camo map. It's awkward aim. It's quite challenging. It's a big aim task for anybody who's going to be playing it. But man, UK just looks so freaking good on that Nomad 1, right? Like, anything aim after seeing their performance on the Nomad 1 feels like a really good map for them. And so it just seems really heavily advantage their direction. And of course, maybe even hidden advantage, right? Russia banned out the Hidden 2, first picked Hidden 3, United Kingdom destroyed them on it. So this will be exhausting the Hidden pool, but if the UK can get 2 points and a ban out of it, I think it's definitely worth the time investment.
Oh, that is definitely worth it. Also to add onto the lore of this map, obviously this song with the exact same background has been mapped back in, I think, 2008. A really old map, basically CS5 AR8, but this one being very different, a lot more modern, and obviously the invisible spinners had to be caught out from this map to try and not give free score, which would have been really problematic in the context of a tournament. But nonetheless, Hidden 1 starting off. This is going to be strange because this is a strange program here, and a good opportunity for the UK to take their third point on the board and run away.
We will notice no Mahmood for this one on the hidden aim. So we've got Skia Plasma Brudge and Listia, Walter, Dasuk, Lexus, and Vlados. I am curious to see if Russia can improve their hidden performance from that first pick on their own hidden 3 selection. But you do see several breaks early on in that weird little slider pattern. So not great. Oh my god, that was 7 misses on those slider jumps. Listia, the only one in the lobby able to hit that pattern. And it will help out the United Kingdom just a tiny little bit here as we start to get into kind of the meat of this pick with the big up and down vertical jumps that, well, you can see some misses. It'll happen. Listia falling, Dasuk falling, Vlados falling as well. This is just such a challenging aim map. It's such a different type of aim with the hidden on top of it, just to add insult to injury.
Yeah, it's really hard to hold on to any sort of combo in this map. As you can see, basically not anyone trying to find any sort of semblance of a combo will be missing. As you can see, basically just Walter holding on to any sort of combo to try and swing it back towards the Russian side so far. A lot of miss, basically a 4-way miss on the side of the United Kingdom as Walter continues to hold on. Just him against the world here as the first PI is on the board. 8,000 difference here favoring the UK, but it's slowly and surely going towards the right as Walter continues to hold on. Raj and Listia finds the misses. Lexus also finds a miss here, but Walter is still standing amidst the chaos. Plasma and Skia to contest, but still the Ki is on the rise. Vlados with the recovery. Lexus unable to find the combo so far, but Walter doing wonders here. The star player of Russia has been relatively quiet throughout this entire matchup to finally wake up and do some work here. Skia finds a miss, just Plasma against Walter, but the combo continues to hold on. Still half of the map left. Walter finds a miss though, and that's the opening the United Kingdom needs. Plasma continues to hold on to the recovery combo as Vlados will be the one to try and contest, but Plasma finds a miss as well. Combos dropping left, right, and center, and the highest combo in the lobby now is going to be Vlados.
That was an exciting third of the map. We've still got a third to go. It's an instant break from Vlados, Welter, and Lexus as well. This map just does not give you an inch to take a breath. Dasuk falling on the Buzz Slider as well. We'll take an eye on that, make sure that wasn't Bancho, but now we've got some combo advantage to the side of the UK. The score gap only 30k and coming down. You've got Listia on nearly 500 combo, Plasma reaching nearly 300 combo. And watch that score gap go. Listia falls though, as does Rudge. And now it is Plasma and Skia trying to do what they can in this very difficult tapping and aim hybrid section. And they both fall. Nobody able to have any sort of consistency on this pick. Now it's back over with Welter and Vlados holding onto some combo for Russia. The lead goes back out their way to 65, 70,000 points as we come down near the ending. Will that be enough of an advantage? UK not able to put up the combo and Russia holding on for dear life. Will this be the break point? Back Vlados falls, but Welter, who has been the hero of this pick for Russia so much of the time, is going to continue to hold into the ending. And there we
jumps here.
are.
And there we go. There we are. Welter holds on through the ending as well. Those jumps were so difficult here. Plasma also being the one to hold on, but Russia will be taking the break point to equalize the score 2-2. Welter being a massive player here on the side of Russia, doing so much work, getting the highest score in the lobby by also pretty good margin. The closest one is going to be Plasma with 420 and Vlados with 430,000. But this is such a good showing from Welter. A really difficult map to try and hold any sort of combo, but Russia, now the momentum has been shifted and it's now going to be their turn to pick to try and bring themselves back into the game. And with the previous DT2 pick, I think that this is going to be some more mechanics here to 1G, maybe like something DT3, right?
Yeah, I think you go either DT1 or DT3 here. You appear to have a pretty decent tapping advantage in this matchup, unless the United Kingdom has a secret fourth player that they did not put in for DT2 who can play these tapping maps. Otherwise, it just seems very Russia favored. Whether they want to go, kind of the aim tapping consistency hybrid of DT1 or just the raw high BPM speed DT3. That one seems maybe a little scary, but one of those just feels like it has to be the pick. That'd be 3 straight points as well for Russia if they can pick into one of those and win it. And as I said, the momentum heavily going the other way, but it's going to be a free mod one instead. So we are still going to get tapping, but it's going to be a very different kind of tapping. 200 BPM and just awkward flow aim required on a lot of the streams in this one. A very uncomfortable kind of streamy map with some more awkward aim thrown in for good measure.
I can see the vision here with that recent win on a hidden one against the United Kingdom. You take that element of awkward aim, you take that element of mechanics that Nomad 2 that they have banned, the United Kingdom has bans against Russia, and you also have a few comfort players, someone like Gamer also probably playing this with Hard Rock and Vlados going hidden. You might have a pretty good recipe to take the advantage in this matchup for the first time in basically just the entire match. I think Russia has been running a deficit throughout the entire match here, and this is potentially a really good pick here considering how the teams have felt so far. A really good scouting here on the side of Russia. And yeah, the map by itself is basically a hybrid. A lot of awkward aim scattered, 204 BPM as well. A bit on the higher side too, and a lot of streams to top it all off. What do you think of this pick, 2NG?
Well, Russia did play the free mod 1 last week, which is obviously just the, PP farm streams, for lack of a better descriptor. And, they won one, lost one, or no, they won it both times, excuse me, with pretty reasonable scores. So, like you said, I can see the vision. This one not nearly so comfortable of a stream map as that was. But if you have players who are comfortable on the streamy elements of this and can also play the aim patterning, yeah, definitely understand where you might be coming from. I still think I would probably on paper rather have seen one of those two DTs, whether it was 1 or 3 in that pool. But I do get where this is coming from. Interesting note about Russia and free mod as well. They played all 4 free mods last week in both matches. They played 8 free mods out of 8 possible free mods in last week's matches. Very curious if we're going to see something similar again this week. I don't know what it is with that team and their love for free mods, but whether it's them picking or their opponents picking, they've been big fans of this this mod pool. We'll see if they can have some luck on it. They were 5 out of 8 wins last week, so we'll see how that goes to them this week. What do we think of the mods, though? What do we think of the mods here? Lexus and Dasuk on the mods for Russia, where we were thinking it might be Gamer and I don't even know, Welter or Vlados who didn't end up being in for it.
Interesting choice here. Also, a little bit of a taunting here in the chat. Akalibed was basically asking Welter to go and play this with Hard Rock, but Welter obviously feeling it a lot more comfortable with the no mod here. Plasma and Akalibed, though, do find their first misses on the side of the United Kingdom, which does give an early lead towards the Russian side. The map still is also quite long as well, 3 minutes and 39 seconds, so still a lot to be changed in here, but the cuts and the streams not catching anyone off guard so far, as the SSs are still in the lobby as well. Gamer looking quite comfortable here, while dropping one for his team here, but still the combos are looking good for Russia. Lexus, though, the Hard Rock is also going to be down. Traded by Mathley, though. This is still a pretty good trade for Russia. The free FCs are holding on with Dasuk with the hit, and Akalibed another miss from his side as it's just Rush to hold on to the FC. The first KI is still there, but Gamer, Welter, and Dasuk will be the ones to hold on. Gamer finds a miss, though, but Welter and Dasuk still 2 FCs against 1. Welter falls. It's just Rush versus Dasuk. A slight combo advantage still on the Russian side, as the recovery for Lexus is a little bit bigger than the one of Akalibed.
This is gonna be a close one for now. Gotta watch those FCs. Dasuk on the hidden might be just a little more challenging on some of these streams, but clearly not having much difficulty, very comfortable on the mod. Rudgeman, 99.3 actual combo on that no mod, so it does lose out just a little bit of score for the mod multiplier, but everyone's starting to build back up, making their way through the cut streams, the kind of awkward flow patterns you see in this map. It's going to be Mahmoud with a big break, but Dasuk is the much larger one as the full combo now gone from the Russian side. Lexus and Gamer also to fall. It is now Rudge with the only FC left in the lobby. Welter doing what he can to combat, but it's half of the combo, but there goes Rudge as well. And now it is just on Welter, who breaks also. As we've gone on, the semifinals pool has ratcheted up the difficulty, and you can see the players suffering from it. Breaks left, right, and center. And looking across the lobby, it is Russia with a bit of a combo lead. The score gap not going to move by much, though. It's only 60,000 with still a quarter of the map to go. It is scary, but with Plasma and Rudge breaking, that gives Russia a bit more advantage. There goes a call bet on the big space stream as well. Russia in a good position here coming into the last few moments of the map, the last inside of a quarter with combos on all 4 members.
The stream section did not spare anyone on the UK side. Gamer finds the miss as the jump start off, though. The last PI still on the board, 200,000 lead, still going towards Russia, but the combos are still standing. Lexa's also dropping a little earlier than Gamer, but nonetheless, a really good advantage here on the Russian side. Akalibet finds a miss on the UK side, but it doesn't really matter, though, as the combo and the score is still on the right. Russia continues to hold with Welter and Dasuk doing everything in their power to retain the lead and get the third point on the board. Dasuk continues to hold the combo, a Sheik evident, but nonetheless, the combo is there, finds a miss on the reverse, and with that, Russia will take the third point on the board to get ahead in this matchup.
What a crazy turnaround we've seen in this match. United Kingdom looked so strong in the first couple of picks, but Russia reminding us why they are a top 8 seeded team in the tournament, winning 3 points on the trot just like that, getting the break point back, winning a couple picks of their own now. That was a very impressive team-wide performance. Once again, it just felt like they always had somebody, if not multiple somebodies, on a combo throughout the map, whereas the United Kingdom had a couple of full team wipes and just could not come back from them. Russia into the lead in the match for the first time, that 3-2 advantage. United Kingdom on the back foot now a little bit. I'm very curious to see where they're going to go. I feel like they might just continue going down the ones. That Hard Rock one maybe a little more favored for them than the Hidden one ended up being as far as the remaining AIM maps go. But instead, it's going to opt into the Nomad 3. We are going to get our original song, Steel Plus's Skywired Beatscape, mapped by Azer and Megafan. This is a super cool rhythm testing ulti-aim, snappy aim pick in this Nomad pool. Very interesting choice, but with the way UK's Hidden 3 went, maybe we're thinking along those lines skill set wise?
Yeah, I think this is the plan probably, because this map in particular is a little similar to the Hidden 3. Obviously, the BPM being higher, 180 BPM aim control does add a lot more difficulty into the equation, but still, I think this is the main strategy that the United Kingdom are going for in this regard. But still, yeah, this is an Osu original made by none other than Steel Plus. A really good map as well. And with that, I think this on paper should favor the United Kingdom to try and equalize the score. But Russia, I mean, there was a reason why they went with the Hidden 3 in the first place. Maybe early match nerves, maybe just a low roll. But this is a little risky here for the United Kingdom. Don't get me wrong, I still like this pick, but this is a very difficult map too. Probably one of the most difficult in the entire pool. So the skill cap that is needed for this is going to be tremendous, while Russia is still basically joining into the lobby for now.
And, you know, it's an interesting thing when you have the very difficult maps in a pool, right? Because those are typically going to be more conducive to kind of a solo carry performance, which so far in this match, I feel like we kind of haven't really seen. A lot of these wins are team-based so far. We haven't had like a giant solo carry. Yes, Plasma put up that really good score on Nomad 1, but Mahmoud and Bubbleman were not super far behind. And, you know, that's sort of been the situation all the way through. So I'm curious how a skill cap type map might go in this matchup. Does one of these teams have a player who can really take over? Or are we just going to continue to see, you know, some of its parts types of performances?
Yeah, that is a good question here that is lingering on our mind. And I do have a similar question as well, but I guess we will see that in the upcoming map, Skyward Beatscape, the players are slowly joining into the game. We had a small issue with Listia not being able to join into the tournament server, now hopefully fixed as the players are getting back into the lobby. Scrollable Gamer, also seen Vlados and Desuk, I think, but yeah, on paper, once again, United Kingdom looking really confident in this type of skill set, looking really good with that hidden 3 win earlier, but nonetheless, a really difficult map. The skill cap hopefully not catching anyone. And as we await for the final player to finish the final piece of the United Kingdom puzzle, this is looking to be quite a fascinating map indeed.
Yeah, really excited to see how this particular pick plays out. Definitely feels like the type of map that both of these teams will be able to put their best foot forward on, so hopefully we can get everybody loaded in and get going so we can all find out what's going to happen on the other side. Relatively short one, as you kind of might anticipate. A lot of the originals trend toward a somewhat shorter duration, 2 minutes and 10 seconds, so it's going to be relatively quick, but it looks like we do have the lobby set, so should be able to get underway here. We've got Skia, Plasma, Listia, and Bubbleman. We've got Scroll, Welter, Desuk, and Vlados. And we've got some Osu. After a little bit of a delay, we've got some Osu to continue this match onward. And you're going to start to come to that really important stage of the match. United Kingdom wins this. It's tied up 3-3. Russia wins this. They get the break point for the 4-2 advantage, which would put them in the position of picking into a map to push it to match point. So, starts to get a little bit tense pretty quickly here as we get in. It's an immediate break from Listia to start the map off, and she does not look super comfortable. Not sure what's going on over there, but Bowman with an early break as well. Not the way you want to start off your own pick here if you're the United Kingdom. Perhaps just a little bit set back by the delay that they had to endure in that lobby. Meanwhile, Russia on the 4-way full combo to start things off. No breaks as of yet until that one from Welter. So it will be a tiny lead, but there goes Scroll as well. And so we equalize as Skia trades it out.
No equalization here. Skia does find a miss though. Vlados though also on the trade here, which does give a slight edge to the United Kingdom side. A very important pick to try and hold on to. If the UK loses this, it's going to be a really dangerous territory for them, but still the advantage is on their side. Listia finds a miss. Plasma also trading with Welter. A slight advantage on the side of Russia, especially with that huge chain miss from Listia, giving the advantage and the edge to the right side, but still Desuk, that player that has been doing pretty well on that Fremont one, also stepping up significantly for this Nomad free as well. Scroll finds a miss here. Bubbleman also, but Desuk is doing some waters here so far. 1/3 of the map still left. Desuk looking so comfortable. Yes, the accuracy might be on the lower side, but the combo is still there. Finally finds a miss though, but no combo to try and contest. The only one is on the side of Listia. It does go towards the left slowly but surely, but the time is slowly dwindling away. 1/4 of the map left as the combos are just about building up.
UK has just a little bit of an advantage. The couple more breaks come through from Scroll and Desuk. That lead is shrinking down, but with this little time left, it's going to need to be a full meltdown from Russia for UK to bring this back. However, it is combo on 3 of the 4 members. There goes Plasma, 60k and dropping. I do not believe, unfortunately, they're going to have enough time, especially not with those breaks from Plasma and Skia. Listia to fall as well, and that's going to settle it. It's going to be Russia expanding their lead by a little bit into the ending. A final margin of only 80,000 points to separate the teams, but that is all it takes. It can be 1 point for all that I care. At the end of the day, it's just which team's score is greater, and this time it was Russia. And that is now 4 points in a row for this Russian team. And their own pick to come. They are really pushing down on that gas pedal in this matchup. United Kingdom has got to sort themselves out here because they're going to be in dire straits in not much time at all, the way that this match has progressed. Russia, their own pick to come, have some options as well. It's scary days for the 7th seed at this stage.
very, very scary. And the player on the opposing side, Dusuk, has been the main driver, the main driving force on the side of Russia. The gas is in full swing, and 4 points are now in the board. The momentum fully shifted, basically shattered for the United Kingdom. And if anything, a good opportunity for Russia to take the match point, to give even more pressure, to put even more pressure on the side of the United Kingdom. And the United Kingdom, as much as they needed that no-mud free, they need to take Russia's point here. They need that desperately to try and survive, because otherwise, once Russia is on the match point, the score is going to be 2-5 with no room for any mistakes. And this is going to be really, really difficult for the United Kingdom. So they gotta hope for the best, as Russia has spent a considerable amount of time thinking here, but the options are still being weighted. You look at that DT1 probably, you look maybe at that DTP, you might even want to risk it with a HR1, given how well you did at a high BPM aim, also being a little awkward too, so the options are there, but it looks like Russia will be opting for Dread of the Grave.
Yeah, I think we always anticipated these tapping maps to come out in this matchup eventually, as we've discussed kind of between several of the points when considering what Russia might pick. And this DT1, well, it was, between this and the DT3, I feel like they were probably discussing. And they go ahead and opt into what has been a very popular pick over the course of the day. I think this is going to be 4 for 4. For this map being picked, and for good reason. I think a lot of the teams at this stage find comfort in this particular skill set where it's got a bit of aim, a lot of tapping at a not super uncomfortable by any means BPM, right? 234 BPM. Like, at this level, you're going to have players who are good with this. And I'm just going to go back to that DT2 earlier in this matchup where United Kingdom just looked frankly overmatched. They clearly did not have a comfortable fourth for that pick. And so the question is going to be, yeah, this is 18 BPM slower, different style of map overall, but will the UK have somebody who can play this when they very clearly didn't have somebody who could play that? And Russia was able to run away with it based on the big difference in fourth members. If they can continue that sort of strength, this looks really, really good for Russia and looks very, very scary for the UK.
I do agree here, but the 18 BPM difference is really, really significant. Coming down from 252 to 234 is definitely going to be a lot more comfortable for the players on the United Kingdom side. Also adding in any aim elements on top of that, and suddenly the United Kingdom looking a little more comfortable on this one. They don't see Skia here as the fourth fill. Bubbleman, Raja, Kalibet, and Malteser. Basically their aim roster here, basically just the aim roster here on the side of the United Kingdom. For the Russian side, you have Gamer, Walter, Alexis, and Dusuk to contest them, to take the match point that they also desperately need. And Russia, they can definitely do it. The good luck of funds are now in the chat, and transition to the Dread of the Grave is here. And with this DT1, Russia can definitely put the United Kingdom into that grave.
This is, it felt like UK was reaching the territory of, well, we sort of definitely want to win this, but it's not a requirement. But now you're really reaching the point in the match where maps become must wins. You can't really stomach any other outcome once you're falling this far behind. So UK gotta lock in on this pick, find the consistency that they've been somewhat lacking through this stretch of Russian wins in this matchup, and hope for some help from the other side, from a Russia team that has really been looking strong. And already you can see, I think, right, just from the outset of a very long map, but you can see a little higher comfort level from a lot of the players across the board. Nobody's suffering overly badly on accuracy on the UK. All the combos staying intact. And meanwhile, you've got a 96 and 94 from Gamer and Lexus, but instead the breaks are going to be Malteser and Welter. So it's a direct trade of two of the players who looked a little stronger. Two of the higher ACK players in the lobby to this point are going to be the ones to miss, which is a little surprising on a map like this. But there goes Dusuk as well, and that is going to be a bigger one. That is 600 combo in, and that's going to be the United Kingdom now stretching the lead out to an instant 50k.
Malteser finds another miss though, but still Russia is bleeding. Dasuk found that miss earlier. 3 FCs against 2. Just 1 actually. Lexus is also the only one of the combo gamer. Also broke earlier. So this is looking very, very dangerous for Russia. Their own pick suddenly turning up and go against them here. The United Kingdom retains the lead and is just the third off the map. 100,000 score. 3 FCs intact. The players realize the reality of their situation. And with the slow section here, the nerfs might be at an all-time high, but nonetheless, the lead is there, exacerbated even further by 40,000. And as the time continues to go on, the UK will make that lead even bigger. But still, those 3 FCs are holding. The slow section is still there, not giving anyone any break here, but nonetheless, half of the map, few doubles here and there, but no immediate threats when it comes to the difficult parts. Already the difference is 200,000, and with that, the United Kingdom are looking so good as we are continuing on. Alistia Fudge finds a miss though, Bubbleman as well. 2 FCs now suddenly drops. It's just a Kaliman versus Lexus, but the combo, the advantage, the recoveries are on the side of Russia. Dasuk finds a miss though. 170,000 is just Akalia to try and hold on for the side of the UK, but Lexus is doing so much work here. Basically, him versus him. Dasuk finds a miss as well. 150,000 difference, and Lexus continues to move to do the job here as well as Akalia. But this is looking really dangerous, and with the third off the map now, this is still going towards Russia's way as the time continues to go on.
Yeah, the lead's dropping precipitously. There go Rudge and Bubbleman once more, and look at what that gap is doing. It's coming down so quickly now, with Lexus matching a Akalabed, with Welter a bit ahead of Malteser. Gamer matching Malteser, which makes Welter a free combo, might be a better way to look at it. And Dasuk with a decent combo as well, but there goes Welter down, and that's going to stem the tide for just a moment. But that was Akalabed, and that is a humongous break. It's traded with Lexus, in fact. The 2 FCs go at the same time. Malteser next gamer trades in, and we've just traded the entire lobby out. That was breaks everywhere with barely any time left. It's less than 1,000 points. But look at, you've got Bubbleman on 300 combo. That is probably just going to be enough because there's not much left in this map. There's so little combo left that Bubbleman being the only member of the lobby to hold is probably all the United Kingdom needs.
There is a spinner though. It might be spin to win the combos. Yes, the map is slowed down significantly, but there is still one large spinner that will decide the fate of this map. Spin to win occurring right now, and who will spin the most will be taking this point.
Oh Russia. My, Russia
will
spin!
It be Russia? Will it be Russia? Bubbleman is barely speeding. This is so close, and no, by the looks of it, Russia, they will be taking the match point. Spin to win, going Russia's way as United Kingdom will be losing this map. It's such a heartbreaking fashion. Bubbleman was basically not spinning there in Russia to take the match point.
It came to spin to win, and it was all unfortunately on the Bubbleman spin, taking the backseat to the Russian team, just full spinning their minds out. That was unbelievable. Bubbleman, who looked like he could have been the hero of the map, holding the combo. Unfortunately, it's crazy to see a map at this scenario being decided by a spinner and Russia just going absolute drill mode to take the pick over by, what was the end of final marker? 31,000. I mean, they came into that down by what, maybe 15 or 20K? So team-wide, they outspun by that amount. Unreal moments of cinema for Russia. And as you said, it's match points the rest of the way. United Kingdom has to win 3 picks in a row just to force the tiebreaker. And then they have to win the tiebreaker as well on top of it. It is a tough scene for the UK, man.
That's gotta hurt as well. Their mental probably shattered. It was just at the palm of their hand, and all you had to do was spin. But Russia, took the match point here, basically stealing the map away, and now suddenly United Kingdom are in such a dire situation. Russia, they were spinning it as if it was that old YouTube video with Russians spinning that pen across the tablet, and the Fremont Free is being picked for the UK, a desperate point to try and come back into this match as Russia, the momentum is fully on their way. 5 points in a row. Russia looking so confident, and if you gotta hold on, if you gotta survive for longer, you gotta do this. If you're United Kingdom, one mistake and you are out of the tournament. 2-5. This is a huge deficit to try and come back from, but this is more than doable, and this is where the first brick needs to be laid.
And we're going just back to back of these lengthy maps with all this pressure on top. You're throwing in the consistency, which is just such a tough, aspect of gameplay to hold on to in this sort of scenario. I mean, what more can you ask of the United Kingdom at this time? They've got to go through a 4-minute long map just to put 0.1 of a needed 3 on the board, and their consistency has been a little bit questionable through this match. Boy, oh boy. I don't know if Fremont 3 would be where I would be going, especially after losing Hidden 3 and Nomad 3 as well in this matchup. We're going into, another one of these pretty tough kind of mixed skill set. You've got a little bit of mechanical difficulty, but you've got a lot of that aim and slider control element to it as well. I don't know that I necessarily agree with this pick, to be completely honest.
This is a very risky pick. I mean, as you've said, the United Kingdom, they lost the Nomad 3. They did win the Hidden 3, though, so there's still hope there. Yeah, they won Hidden 3, but still, there is some chances here for the side of the United Kingdom. There's always a chance, and if their aim control is looking confident that they may be going for this, in general, if you have been around the tournament committee for a while, you gotta know Oat Milk, and you gotta know the map named Black Class. This is basically Black Class, but on steroids. A lot more difficult and a lot more interesting when it comes to the mod combinations. A custom as well from their side. CS 2.5 makes this a little bit more bearable with the Hard Rock in comparison to the Hidden, but do not let this fool you. This map is still insanely difficult on both the Hard Rock and Hidden modification, and on top of that, this map is also ridiculously long, so if you are rooting for the United Kingdom, you gotta hope for a miracle, and the miracle question is, will it come? Because you have an overmod on the side of the UK. Skia with the Hidden Hard Rock, Mahmoud with the Hard Rock, Plasma with the Hidden, while Russia is going safe here.
And it's what you can sometimes see, right? Circle size 2.5 base, so the overmodding on the Hard Rock, not the most surprising thing in the world, but this map throws you right to the wolves from the word go, and you've already seen a couple of early misses from Russia, Welter and Dasuk to break early on. UK thus far holding the 4-way, as it is a second miss from Dasuk, followed by Lexus, not starting out great for Russia. Could this be the start of what the UK needs here? Getting just a really solid team performance on this map would go a long way for them. There go Welter and Lexus again. And finally, the first break to come for the United Kingdom. It is Bubble Man, but they've got a triple FC. Make that a double FC with Plasma and Mahmoud, the heroes of Nomad 1, what feels like an eternity ago. Meanwhile, it is just Scroll on the FC for Russia. And he falls off those last couple notes of the pattern into the break. And UK, 100k to the good for them. And with the double FC holding on, see what they can do with it.
Mahmoud basically broke on the slider there, and very uncomfortable here as well, dropping the pen too. Plasma, the only one with the combo. What is happening with Mahmoud? Probably some technical difficulties here. Unable to play them out for now. This is not looking good for the United Kingdom, but still Russia unable to hold the combos. Well, Dasuk, the only one with a combo. Skia also finding a miss. It's just Plasma to hold on to the FC, but huge technical difficulties on the side of Mahmoud here.
Yeah, and I mean, with that coming a third of the way through, I have to imagine we can't... I'm expecting we're not getting an abort from the looks of things. I'm not entirely sure what's going on over there, but this is really, really bad for the United Kingdom. Bubbleman's still doing what he can, but I don't.
This is look. Yeah, I'm also a little lost for words here, but nonetheless, though, it looks like we might have an abort. Was it
I don't.
earlier on in the match?
I
Still
don't.
half of the map already gone, so I'm not sure.
I am not entirely sure. We're gonna assume that this is playing out for now. So I'm not entirely sure, but we'll see as we go on. It looks like we've got a pause, a freeze. Something's happening here. Apologies for technical difficulties. You'll get an update as soon as I know what's going on. There has not yet been an abort, so not really sure what's happening. But it is Russia taking the lead over based on Mahmoud not playing, and there he's maybe gone. I've got the MP open. I do not see a disconnect, so not sure. Keeping an eye on that, keeping an eye on everything else. But this is going to be really hard for UK to win now that it's basically a 3v4 for half of the map. I apologize. I'll have more information hopefully soon. But for right now, it's Russia taking the lead, and we're still playing.
Russia takes the lead of Walter with a really good combo, but Bubbleman also a really high combo on their side. It would be really good if United Kingdom manages to pull through, even with those difficulties. Walter, the only combo to stand for the side of Russia. Bubbleman sadly will be breaking. Their only hope now gone as Walter continues to hold on to the combo. 1,000 combo there, but this is really tragic here for the United Kingdom. Those technical difficulties, hopefully we will get more information for now, but Walter, that 1,000 combo is broken, and this is looking like, is that an abort at the end?
Oh. It seems we got an abort. A very, very late abort. I'm going to be quite honest here. I don't like being in this position, but I'm in the position of having no idea what's happening. I think my best guess is that the stream was just super far behind, so catching up to when the abort was took us through that whole duration. I am sorry, I wish I had more information on what was going on there. It seems like, I mean, that didn't abort until really far through the map, so I don't know what entirely is happening. They're saying Mahmoud's PC crashed, which it must have taken a while because we saw him still like moving his cursor and stuff, right? It looks like we're just going to be replaying the map from what I'm seeing, and
I guess I'm not sure. Still need some clarification in here, but
ref saying we're gonna replay the map with the same rosters, so we're gonna get Mahmoud back in, and I guess we're going to just replay the map, which well, I'm not going to offer an opinion on that one way or another, and we're gonna just pretend that nothing happened and go back and start over.
Yep. Basically, just the way here. That being said, Mahmoud seems to be back. He also held the FC for a while up until that slider after the break. I would not be surprised. I think it was a Burai slider, something close to that, because the slider velocity that changed a lot, and maybe that was something that crashed their PC. I'm not really sure, but still, this is a terrible situation for both of these teams here. But that being said, though, still a replay is imminent, and with that, Russia will be able to do something that they were not able to do earlier, or the United Kingdom might be able to try and come back. The first break that we've talked about could be there, but I would imagine the mental for both of these teams now is completely shattered, and the momentum also completely shifted, I would imagine.
Yeah, so I guess we're operating under the rule wherein it states referees may perform a rematch independently of either team if reasonable evidence of a disconnect or tech issue exists, which Mahmoud clearly had a technical difficulty. So that's at Leo, who's the host, at his discretion at that point, outside of the normally expected time frame. So strictly speaking, does fall under the rules. It's a little bit unusual just because that sort of situation doesn't tend to happen very often. But that appears to be what we're operating under here. And so we go back. And to be fair, United Kingdom was winning the map until that happened. So keep that in mind as well. And let's see what happens on a second go-round. We'll see if everybody can hold on to some combo and reset their mental and reset their nerves, because this is a big moment in the match. Remember, it's match point in favor of Russia. And there is first break of the map coming out from, second break of the map coming out from Lexus, and followed by Welter as well.
Yep, not the greatest start from Russia here, mirroring their first time the map was played, but nonetheless, Scroval continues to hold on to Suk also with a recovery. 60,000 difference, not as big as it used to be here. The modifications also remain the same, but still, what a good performance here from the United Kingdom. Basically, just the ladder ends dropped and the 4FC is still standing. Lexus and Welter being the only one to miss here, but the combos on the UK are not looking like they're about to fall. 100,000 difference building up significantly as those 4 FCs are still on the board. 130,000. This is looking so good here for the United Kingdom. The alt section not catching anyone off guard, and the score difference continues to build as we speak. This is ridiculous here from the UK. Such a good mental reset here. Lexus also finds a miss, exacerbates the situation even further, but those combos on the UK, what are they doing? Half the map now gone. 4 FCs remain in the finals week. This is the semifinals week. Plasma finally breaks the silence here, but 3 players are still looking so strong. In the 1/3 section continues to terrorize the lobby. Scroval finds a miss, Mahmoud also finds a miss, but it's 2 FCs against Dasuk, and Dasuk also breaks at the end. And by the looks of it, the United Kingdom, they will persevere through this.
This is a crazy team performance. The second go-around on this map working out very well for the United Kingdom. Skia, Bubbleman holding on to that double FC. No combos to speak of on the side of Russia. And look at that score gap go. 500,000 points in favor of the United Kingdom. Still just shy of a quarter of the map left to go, a decent amount of time remaining, so that score gap looking to get even bigger as Bubbleman and Skia just continue doing unspeakable things to this map. Because what do you mean you have an HDHR FC and a Nomad FC, and you are just continuing onward like this is absolutely normal? You see this every day. Let me let you in on a little secret. You don't see this every day. Finally, it's the break from Skia. One of those 2 FCs goes, but it is long since damage done. A 750,000 score lead for the United Kingdom, and they're going to be clawing back the first of 3 match points that Russia is holding on to in style.
That is definitely style here. Skia and Bubbleman, this duo completely breaking Russia here. You could also basically remove 1 player out of the equation for the United Kingdom and they would still have taken the point. 3-5, such a good showing from the United Kingdom. Skia and Bubbleman being the main players to get more than 700,000 score to retain the combo for basically the entirety of the map. Only 1 place that they have missed. And this is such a good way to come back into this match. The mental, hopefully back for them, but still, Russia remains on the match point. The pressure is still there, and if 1 mistake happens, then the United Kingdom will be out of the tournament, and it's time for Russia's pick as well. As the curtains are now suddenly, as the situation in general, the sky is looking really grim here for the United Kingdom.
Well, it's looking perhaps 33% less grim, I suppose, since now they only need to win 2 more points to force a tiebreaker instead of 3. So, gotta find the silver linings where we can here for that side as they try to make this comeback happen. Russia next pick, this, has to be DT3, right? I feel as though this just has to be DT3. I know DT2 came down to literally spin to win, but Russia did indeed spin and win. Also, of course, won the DT2. So just keep going down the line of the DTs and opt into the DT3 and say, we're going to play 350 BPM for a minute and 53 seconds, and it's going to win us the match. I feel like the direction you have to take if you're Russia here, and just say, nope, we're finishing this off right here, right now.
Perhaps. In general, the map on the DT3 is very tricky by itself. A lot of 1-2 rhythms being used, so not a lot of tap. I mean, obviously the tapping is there, but on the other hand, looks like Russia will be going into a DT4, a ultra precision map. Yeah, this is not something that I would have expected from the side of Russia. If I recall correctly, the DCS on this map is 9. So if you look at something like HR2, it was basically OSU for ants. Well, this is OSU for microbes, for atoms, for molecules. It's gonna be really, really hard to see any sort of semblance of any circles, but this is definitely a pick that Russia is going for, which is really, really interesting.
Yeah, I think you might need to get out a microscope for this one. I mean, I don't know what this looks like when 8 people are on screen playing it at the same time, but I don't know that we're going to be able to see very well what's happening. This is this is like the most high-risk final pick of a match that you could possibly imagine, right? This is Russia's last pick, and they're saying, let's pick CS9. I just want to say, like, I've been wanting somebody to put this in a DT4 slot, like, since this map got ranked, because it's hilarious. But I don't know that I expected to see it in OWC semifinals as a match point last pick of the match for your team selection. Oh, man. What are we doing here, guys?
Well,
this is too nuts.
This map is definitely some breath of fresh air, if I may say so, if you look at the difficulty name, but yep, CS9 AR 8.5 to compensate will be around 10 with the double time, and looks like the players are ready. And chat, make sure to prepare your microscopes, because this is the once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to witness CS9 with 8 players in the lobby.
Yeah, can we call up the scientists at CERN? I think we might need to get the LHC involved in this one. Like, I don't know, man. This is a wild one, but let's just see how it goes. I don't know if we've seen this in the previous matches. I don't recall having seen it, but that doesn't mean it wasn't played at all. So we're in for a show. We've got Bubble Man, we've got Mahmood, we've got Rudge, we've got Malteser, we've got Dasuk, Lexus, Welter, and Gamer. Russia, their only match point, by the way, on their own pick, right? Of the 3 match points that they started out with, 2 of them are going to be on the UK's picks. And this is what they chose, the ultra precision double time 4. And guys, just look at what you're seeing on the screen, man. Like, this is crazy to watch. And it's Malteser and Bubbleman to be the first couple to break. There goes Rudge as well. Welter, the first to fall for Russia, but they've got no FCs. There go Dasuk and Gamer. Mahmood, it's Mahmood time. Let's see what he can do.
Mahmood time, exactly. The accuracy is not really there, but neither are Russia's. Lexus and Walter looking good on the accuracy department. Mahmoud, though, does find a miss, which does give the edge to Russia. Quarter off the map gone, and so far, so good for the Russian side to retain that lead. Dasuk finds a break, though. Malteser as well. Fudge, the only one with the recovery on the side of the United Kingdom, but still a quarter off the map gone, and the advantage is building up more and more towards the right as we speak. The combos are still holding Mahmoud, unable to find the combo so far. Another miss from Malteser too, exacerbating the situation even further. The equilibrium shifting more and more towards the right, and 115,000 difference here for Russia, while the UK, this is looking very dangerous for them.
It's all on the shoulders of Bubbleman and Rudge. They've got to hold. They are just shy of matching Lexus and Gamer, with breaks coming from Dasuk and Welter. 140k, there goes Rudge. 140k and growing the lead for Russia. And man, look at Lexus, look at Gamer holding on one of the craziest precision picks we've ever seen in the World Cup, the smallest circle size in the history, I believe, of OWC. And now it is Lexus, the only combo in the lobby, lead 240k and growing for Russia, and despite the break, this might be the straw that broke the camel's back in this matchup. Russia looking to close it out and advance to top 8. All they need to do is hold on for less than a quarter of this map with a 200,000 point lead.
It was just a breath away. It was just a breath away, but that DT1 is just a breath away for a few of these maps as well, but looks like it wasn't meant to be. The difference, the score difference is still heavily on the Russian side. No combos to try and come back from this ridiculous map. And with that, the United Kingdom, it looks like the final melody will be ringing, as well as that Quad of C basically not mattering. The final KI also will not matter, as the United Kingdom will get eliminated from OSU World Cup 2025 on this DT4 with the score of 3-6 as Russia continues to go on further.
And what a match from Russia, man. UK looked so good opening this up. They had the 2-0 lead. It felt like the momentum was going their way. And then Russia just went on a tear, 5 maps in a row and 6 out of the next 7 picks. 6-3, as mentioned, their final margin of victory. Onward into top 8 for the 4th year in a row for Team Russia. And they get a date with South Korea tomorrow morning, 13:30 UTC. Russia, South Korea. Of course, South Korea with that 6-1 win over Norway. So both these teams coming in with a lot of momentum. But shout out to that Russian roster. What a performance from everyone on the team today. Got everything they needed out of their team members when they needed it to send the United Kingdom home and to move onward into top 8.
Yep, very heartbreaking here for the United Kingdom, but Russia will be the one to prevail, getting past that challenge with a lot of issues at the beginning, losing 2 points at the start, but coming back from that huge disadvantage. But nonetheless, I think this is the time when we will be saying our goodbyes for today. If I recall, really, I don't think we have any matches left for today. Casting this one for you was Lighting and T1G. And if you have a few final words to finish this up, T1G, then I would be glad to give it over to you.
Absolutely. Thank you, Light In. And indeed, nothing left for today for much of the world. However, depending on your time zone, what many are anticipating to be one of the matches of the entire tournament will be happening tonight or early tomorrow morning. It will be United States versus Australia, number 2 seed versus number 3 seed. That happens for UTC tomorrow. That is 11 p.m. Eastern time in North America. That is noon in places such as China tomorrow. You're not going to want to miss that. That is probably the most hype matchup of this entire tournament so far. So if you are able, if the time allows you, definitely do not miss that. Onward into tomorrow will go, as you can see on screen, the remaining matchups in the losers and the second winners semifinal of the week. Tomorrow afternoon will close things out. But for now, that is it for us here today in the semifinals. We have had some very good matchups. Congratulations to our winners, Russia, Germany, South Korea, and shocking performance from New Zealand, making their way into top 8 from that 16th seed. For now, you've got a bit of a break. You know what to do. If you haven't yet, it's semifinals. What are you waiting for? Head on over to that OSU store. Pick up your profile banner to support your favorite team or your favorite teams, whoever it may be out of the remaining rosters that you want to see victorious. You can do so. Show off your support there. Until for UTC tonight, I've been T1G, he's been Light In. Thank you for watching, and we will see you later on as OS World Cup 2025 semifinals weekend rolls onward.
See you next time.
It never worked to find I watched it fall away.